I'm Captain Coppin with Texas Fishing Tips, and this is your weekly fishing report.
This week we've had a little bit of change in the weather. We've had some cold fronts come in. We've had some strong winds. We've had some really weak winds, north, south, east, west. It's been all over the place. Over here on this grass line has been producing good redfish, good black drum, lots of schools of big black drum in here, right, mainly in the deeper water. Some trout, those late season croaker. We're getting a few on croaker right now. But with that water temperature dropping, look for the winter time pattern to start coming into effect. As it gets colder, those fish and the tide starts dropping, they'll move out to this edge, and on those warmer days they move up into the flat. Look for the dirty waters. So once you come up into this flat, don't fish that real crystal clear stuff. Fish some of the dirtier water, and that's where you're going to find your better fish. Your reds are going to hold in that dirty water, making long drifts across those windy days. I've been using popping corks and live shrimp and doing just fine, catching mixed bags of trout, reds, and drum. Alright, just south of Bird Island Basin the other day, I had broken down, and I was on my way in, coming down the ICW, and on the west side, right off the ICW, I saw that big giant school of bull reds, and there between the burnout and this island right here, there was a lot of bait in the water, and I kind of just looked over to the side. It was a real calm day, and I saw those bull reds in here, and I've been looking for them all year, and I know they've been in here because I've seen them a couple of times, but this is where they were holding. If you come into this area, look for the bait. Once you find the bait, you're going to find those fish, and they've just been holding close to the ICW, pretty much on the south end of Emmerds. Coming this way, if you come towards the ICW, you'll find a lot of those schools of menhaden and big schools of mullet. That's what those redfish have been following along. And as we find more and more cold fronts, these big bulls are going to start moving. These big bulls are going to start moving out, and you're going to find less and less of them. But if you want to come in here, get up on your console, kind of just drift along, or put the trolling motor down, you're going to find those fish in here. You can catch them both on popping corks and live shrimp, or you can just come in here and throw a gold spoon into them. Pretty much once that bait hits the water, it's fish on, because those fish are hungry and they're looking for food. Over here on the north end of Nighthawk, we've been, just chasing the schools of black drum around in these dead-end canals, moving through here. Live shrimp, or just a live shrimp, broke off tail on a hook, maybe with a little split shot. That's been working best. But you can get in here pretty easy right now. Even in my boat, I've been able to get in here, and it's good and protected. No matter what the wind is, you can get in here and find those fish. And if you're not seeing them, you can use your down imaging or your side scan and find those schools, especially when they're pushed down with the north wind. I find it easier to see the surface drum whenever the south wind or southeast wind is blowing. Over here around the tide gauge bar on the back side, we've been catching good fish. Man, it has been on fire around the tide gauge. This back side has been producing a lot of redfish, some decent trout, especially with that north wind blowing. You can come back here, it's nice and protected. Like I said, it's getting that time of year where we're gonna start putting our waders on and come back here, throw some lures, some corkies, a couple of broken backs, maybe even a top water. It's not that cold, but it's getting cold, so your wintertime pattern is starting to come into effect. And this is gonna be one of the places that y'all are gonna be able to come and catch really nice fish this time of year. Over here on the back side of Twin Palms, we've been catching some good redfish, drifting, popping corks and live shrimp. as you come into the Badlands, there's been some fishing here, especially when the tide gets high. So just come in here, make some long drifts, popping corks and live shrimp. You're going to see more and more guys come in here and start wade fishing. So just be respectful of the guys that are out here wading. Use your trolling motor. Try not to start your big engine on top of the hump, because it'll kind of shut it down and nuke that little area, that scar. If you come down a little bit further towards the wall, been catching some good reds in here on cut bait. I'll just anchor up right on top, throw cut skipjack or cut mullet on top of this little hump here, and especially during those real windy days with the north wind.
I'm Captain Grant Coppin. Thanks for watching.